So Jay Opetaia has a match coming up on December 23rd that he's already announced with the Rider season, and basically as far as with the Day of Reckoning on the huge card that everybody has seen with Wilder and Anthony Joshua and Bivol on the card. But now they say the IBF is announcing that he's going to be possibly stripped of the belt if he goes through with the fight, because the Briedis fight has already been kind of put forward as far as being next, and they saying if he goes through with the Zorro fight, then he will get stripped possibly. It's not a guarantee, but possibly right now, that's what's being said as far as with the IBF. I had announced the fight because everyone else was announcing the fight. I thought the Briedis fight was going to be at the Day of Reckoning, but I guess they changing it, added Zorro as an opponent for the fight, and they said like they guaranteed him an opportunity next as far as the rematch, the IBF, and if that's not the fight, then they're probably gonna try to either strip Opetaia of the belt. But I feel like Jay he just chose the next fight. I mean, that's a quick turnaround. We've seen guys like Fury, even though this is a different sanctioning body. We've seen guys like Fury fight guys in between fights, certain fights and things like that. But with the whole Charlo situation with Tim Tszyu, we just had it. IBF let those guys do certain things as far as. Now, let me tell you this. Now, with Baccarat taking step-aside money and saying, okay, it's okay that Charlo can go on and fight so-and-so, and took the step-aside money, right? But that has nothing to do with the IBF. But I'm already saying too much, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you look at the situation I've explained with Charlo and Baccarat and Tim Tszyu, then you should see that the IBF has been lenient in the past. You know what I'm saying? Opetaia has he's taking big fights. He's taking he's being active. He's very active, which will be good for the sanctioning body. You know what I'm saying? He's on a big stage, so I don't understand what the big deal is at this point. The only point I see is that Briedis' team is kind of mad. They feel like they're behind and everything like that. I mean, he can get the belt. If it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Jay would just go to another sanctioning body and fight for their belts. He'll still be the champion, just got stripped. He'll still be a champion. So at this point, I don't know, man. He's kind of moving away from the whole having fights inside the country. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he would still have fights inside the country, but just as far as being limited to that situation and the rematch, a lot of people want to see the rematch, but in my eyes, I feel like it was a clear-cut decision. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes, I feel like, and then to be honest with you, shoot, I would actually, if I was Briedis, I would wait on this situation because the fight would be bigger after this fight. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the fight will be bigger once they get in a position where they're having a rematch. But I mean, I'm pretty sure if I lost, I would want my rematch immediately. So, but it all depends, man. I don't know. I just feel like the IBF right now, that they're stripping a lot of different people. They did Charlo, Terrence Crawford. So Charlo and Terrence Crawford got stripped, but somehow Tim Tszyu didn't get a belt, which is odd to me. Somehow Tim Tszyu didn't get a belt, but Charlo and these other people, they still held on to their belts after mandatories and stuff didn't go through. So kind of confused in the whole situation as far as the situation situation with Jay as far as, did they tell him beforehand as far as, hey, don't go through this fight? Or because we seen guys go through certain things, but I guess at this point right now, Briedis probably, his team went to the IBF and asked those guys to kind of enforce the whole situation. I feel like the Briedis team basically was like, this is our chance. We can't let this slip away. If we do, it'll probably be a while before we can do anything else the next time. And what if he lose the belts, and then we'll have no kind of validity as far as getting a rematch. They'll probably try to make it seem like we let our chance slip away. So I definitely agree with how they're looking at things, but it just all depends, you know what I'm saying? Certain situations, everybody's not privy to the situation as far as what the promoters put in as far as rematches and different things. This is a promoter decision. This is a decision where Jay was like, well, let me just take the Zorro fight and then Briedis can just wait. This was a decision that was made as far as someone offering him to be on the card. Now, I'm gonna be real. With the money he's probably being offered, he probably doesn't care about that little situation. Because the money probably that was offered was probably way too much to turn down. And it was way more than what anybody else was offering, especially Briedis. So, if Briedis was in the same situation, he would go over there too. And his promoters. But promoters just doing their job. Basically, everybody just doing their job. That's the only thing that's going on. Ain't no big issues. It's just everybody doing their job right now. Trying to get some kind of, just trying to figure out what's going on. That's it. They just trying to get some kind of clarity on things. And everybody just doing their job, basically. I don't see too many issues with nothing that's going on, but I don't know. We just gotta kind of wait and see on everything that's going on. I feel like Jay basically putting himself in a situation where his career can kind of go forward as far as with his money outside the ring, as far as his money, and as far as inside the ring with as far as opportunity. It's a lot of people that's gonna be able to see him fight that haven't seen him fight over the course of years. So this is definitely a big deal for him. Being able to display his skills on the table like this. So I feel like it's a huge deal for him. You know what I'm saying? Huge deal. But as far as him being stripped, at this point, he's too close. He's probably thinking about training. He's the fighter, so that's kind of some stuff that the promoters probably worry about, but not him. So I feel like with that, with those things coming around, he's probably not worried about being stripped at this time. He's probably thinking, oh, I got the biggest fight of my career coming up, so let me put myself in a position where I'll be best suited to get a win or try to pull something through. So I definitely understand both sides, but Briedis has to figure out a situation that he's gonna be able to sustain as far as finding good competition. Because even with a belt right now, he's still gonna end up seeing Opetaia at another time eventually. So he can just wait, or he can get go for the belt, try to be the guy right now, and try to find somebody else who can sell some tickets with his name next to it. But right now, the IBF, they're probably my least favorite sanctioning body right now, because the way they're trying to manage different things and put guys in position to where they need to do certain matches and mandatories, it's not even lined up correctly. It really has things all over the place. And if we don't get some kind of clarity on certain things, it's going to be a long way for a lot of us to try to get somewhere and do certain matches and get to a certain point where we can have some validation on what the mandatory is going to be, because they're trying to like straighten it up, but they're not doing it with everybody. You know what I'm saying? You're just doing it with certain guys at this point. You know what I'm saying? Even though Tim Tszyu isn't technically high ranked in the IBF, with the work he's done, he should have been. But a lot of guys will be like, well, he's not doing bouts that's sanctioned for that body. It doesn't matter. You're just saying guys that haven't had bouts in a lot of sanctioned bodies, where they get moved to another sanctioned body and get high ranked real quick. So different stuff is really, man, it's too complicated at this point. It doesn't favor anyone. It doesn't favor the fighters at all. Because when these guys are in a position where they need a mandatory and they're waiting on certain things, they're not getting the opportunities. So it's kind of like, it's not really that serious, so not really gonna pay attention to it. So a lot of people just don't pay attention to it. They don't care about it. Don't care about it at all. It doesn't make a whole difference. It doesn't make a big difference whether Jay has a belt or not. At the end of the night, if he's holding the belt, that's all people will see. They don't know what sanction the body is with. At the end of the day, a boxer's gonna have to realize, do they want to let go of the belts or not? Because a lot of times they'll say, well, the belt don't really matter. Like when a big paycheck come up, then guys start dropping belts. And that be sometimes because the promoter wanting to drop a belt. They're like, oh, we got a big payday coming up. You need to drop the belt for this. You know what I'm saying? I have seen certain moves where guys have dropped certain belts for certain things. But I have no problem with this. The problem I have is like Jay having a quick turnaround. He just fought recently. So he gonna fight on this card. And he could probably just turn around and fight again in probably February and March or something. I'm pretty sure. The guy's young, so he don't have to spend too much time recovering. So I don't know, man. This ain't helping boxing, to be honest with you. This ain't helping boxing. Now we don't even know who Jerron Ennis' next mandatory gonna be. We know who Baccarat. They're talking about Jack Colkay. This IBF thing, it's not helping a lot of guys, especially from Australia. American fighters and Australian fighters right now, as far as the IBF, is not really benefiting. I mean, they're trying to give opportunities to other fighters, American fighters and Australian fighters, as far as their promoters, but what about the other sanctioned bodies? Not the other sanctioned bodies, what about the other weight classes? What about it? Because they should have did this. The stuff they're doing with Jay and Terrence Crawford, they should have did that after Charlo fought Canelo. Before he fought Canelo, honestly. But I see that's a weakness they show. They show, okay, we'll hold the belts so it can look like undisputed versus undisputed for Canelo. We'll do that. I don't know who made that phone call, because they did it for Canelo, but everybody else, nah, we ain't finna do it for you. So Canelo gonna have undisputed versus undisputed. We're gonna do it for him, but not for you. Definitely not. And that's bad right there. That's not good. That's definitely not good. For these people to be out here like that, that's not good at all. Boxing taking a lot of hits right now with these guys doing certain things like that. You got to put guys in position to win now. Right now, we don't have guys in position to do anything. The young talent, they're trying to carry boxing right now, but you still got promoters and stuff protecting the older guys. These sanctioning bodies and these belts. Y'all gonna have to figure it out soon about these belts, man. A lot of y'all, I know y'all love the belts. I know they look good. I know y'all want to have certain pictures with belts and different things like that, but after a while, man, it gets to a certain point, y'all gotta let those belts go. It gets to a certain point, y'all gotta let those belts go away. Honestly. Because this is a situation you're gonna be in. Every time you get a big fight that get offered to you, or you got an opportunity to do a big fight, then you gotta turn around and be like, oh well, I got the fight with Briedis, so I can't do that. Nah, man. I've seen guys get a okay, man, you did that one time. You went around the mandatory one time and didn't fight him. Now, I don't know. As an opponent, if I was an opponent, I wouldn't really mind because the guy's gonna lose out on the payday, not me. I'm not gonna lose out on the payday. He's the one gonna lose out. So it wouldn't really affect me or bother me. It would bother most of the other people. It would bother those other people who's not putting themselves in position to go forward and do certain things. I feel like those are the people it'll hurt more. Just being honest, I feel like that'll hurt people more than these other guys. But I feel like if all the Australian fighters, Mexican fighters, and American fighters right now just dropped the belts, it'd be over with. They wouldn't be able to hold that over nobody's head, man, because it's getting to a point now the belts is not benefiting but a couple of people. Because a guy say, yeah, I got a belt, then, oh, you ain't fought nobody. Just like now. I keep hearing this again, and I don't know why. But I'm hearing people on the internet talking about, something about, bro, I'm just gonna be realistic. I don't know how certain guys are getting put on a certain level and we still gotta sit around and argue about other fighters being on a certain level. I'm not gonna do that. If you're a professional, you're on a professional level. That's the level you on. All this, who he fought and this guy, and you gotta do the rest of that, I'm not going through all that. Because as you can see, sanctioning bodies don't care and the rankings don't care. But that's all I got though. Like and subscribe.